If you are a crocheter who is just starting out and you are trying to find some new cool stitches for your next project, I've definitely got your back and you want to stick around. Hello everyone and welcome to Amparo, Wonderland. Today we are going to be learning a new stitch called the Alpine Stitch. It is very cute, very versatile. You can use it for many projects. It has that cool texture that looks so difficult to make, but in reality it is super duper easy. You only use the basic stitches, which by the way I do have a video and you can find it in the top corner there just in case you are interested in learning your basic stitches before we move on to this video. So I have spoken enough, so let's stop talking and let's get yarning. Here we've got our materials. What we need are a good, nice, sharp pair of scissors. Make sure they are sharp. Dull ones will give you a hard time and you will not have fun. You need a crochet hook of whatever size you wish, depending on what project you're trying to make. And it also corresponds with the yarn that you are using. And in this case, we are using this acrylic worsted weight yarn. And the color is called Amethyst from the brand I Love This Yarn. And last but not least, we need our best friends here, the stitch markers. You can never go wrong with too many stitch markers. There's no such thing as too many stitch markers, just like there's no such thing as too many crochet hooks and yarn, right? Right, okay. If you agree, click like. Alright, so let's go ahead and move this stuff out of the way so that way we can get to crocheting. And here we are. We've got our open space here, which is very important. You don't want things in the way. And to begin our stitch here, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a slip knot. There are different ways to create one. I do have a short over here that you can click on over to and then come back so that way you can see how it's created. And this is another way that you can make it. You literally just put it around your index finger, you twist it, you grab the working yarn, and you pull. That's it. That's an easy way or an expert way as you learn. So now that we've got our slip knot on our crochet hook, what we're going to do is that we're going to create an odd number of chains plus 2. Okay, so any number of odd chains is fine. So I'm going to create, let's see, so we got 1, 2, let me show you really quick just in case you don't know how to create chains. Let me zoom in. Dun, 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 dun. To create a chain, you simply just yarn over and you pull that loop right through that back loop that's on your hook. Let me show you one more time. You yarn over and pull that yarn that is on your hook through this loop, that is in the back of your hook, just like that. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and create 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13 chains. I think 13 should be good. No, I'm gonna do more. I think it looks prettier when you have more. 15, 16, 17 chains. I think that should be good. I think I changed my mind again. I'll get back to you when I get the number of chains I want. Okay, I'm back. I've got 19 chains on this startup chain here, and I'm going to add 2 more because, like I said, you need an odd number of chains plus 2. And the reason is because we are going to be working double crochets on row 1. So remember, this is just your starting chains. It is not any type of row. Row 1 is what we're going to be working on now. So for row 1, we're going to skip the first 2 stitches and you're going to go into the 3rd stitch from the hook. Okay, so that's 1, this is the first stitch, 2, and 3 right there is your stitch that you're going to go into. What we're going to do is we're going to do, as I said, a double crochet. To do a double crochet, by the way, these are US terms. Probably should have stated that at the beginning. I'm sorry for those of you who are doing UK. So double crochet, we are going to yarn over once and we're going to go into our 3rd chain here And I like to go in this way where you have the back bar and the top loop working on top of your crochet hook here. So underneath is just one loop that's there, but honestly you can make this any way you want. I'll show you another way just in case you're curious to what the heck I'm talking about. So I pulled up my loop there, right? And I'm going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through these first two loops at the beginning, and then you're going to yarn over one more time and go through these back two loops there. So that is your first double crochet there. We're going to use our best friend just to make sure that we remember when we come back that that is our first stitch of the row. Now we're going to work into this next stitch here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to yarn over first, and you're going to go into the next stitch. As I said, I like to go through the middle so you catch both the back bar and the top loop of it. Let me show you really quick the anatomy of a chain. So a chain has these two like a V shape. So this is like the top loop. I call it the top loop and the bottom loop. And then when you look in the back here, you will find little bars, and those are called the back bar of the chain. So that's the back bar that I was telling you about that I'm going through. So you are gonna go through the top loop and the back bar with your crochet hook like this. Okay, so the bottom bar or the bottom loop is gonna be at the bottom of your crochet hook. Now we're going to yarn over. I'm going to pull that loop through, and you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. You yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops that are on there, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops, and you got yourself another double crochet. Okay, so we got our 2 double crochets so far, and we're just going to continue doing our double crochet the same exact way. And just make sure that when you do your double crochets that you do them the same exact way in each stitch. So if you do the way that I do it, where it has the front loop here and the back bar together in the back, then you want to make sure that you do that all the way across, because you don't want to have it look wonky or different. You just want to stay consistent, just like everything else in life. So go ahead and do the double crochets all the way across, and then come back here and I will show you what we're going to do in row 2. Alrighty then, so we have finished row 1. Congratulations! Now we are in row 2. So for row 2, what we're going to do is that we are going to turn our work. I know normally that you are probably accustomed to chaining 1 and turning, but we are going to skip that part because I like to have straight edges. And to have a straight edge for this next row is that we skip chaining, and we're just going to turn it. Okay, so just turn your work normally. And what we're going to do is that we are actually going to work single crochets all the way across. Okay, so by the way, at the end of row 1 you should have the same amount of stitches as the beginning, so minus the 2, of course. So I have 19 double crochets in total for row 1 because I did have a startup chain of 19 plus 2, right? So because of that, we end up with, in this case, 19 double crochets in total. Now that we are in row 2, we have our work turned around, and what we're going to do is that simply we are going to go into this first stitch right over here, and we're going to put our hook right in there. We're going to yarn over and pull up your loop. You yarn over again, and we're going to pull through both loops that are on your hook right there. And you have made a single crochet. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so for your single crochet, since this is your first stitch of the row, you want to make sure you use your best friend and mark it up. If you're a professional crocheter, you may not have to, but if you are a beginner, you want to make sure that you mark up every start of the row, just to make sure that you know where you are ending and starting. So now that we have made a single crochet there, we're going to go into the next stitch here, and we're going to do the same exact thing. As you can see, there's like a little hole here, right? That's the single crochet that you're going to be working into, and it looks like this at the top where you have a little V. and the front looks like this. We're working in the back, so let's put our hook right in that next hole there. Okay, and we have the V shape at the top of our hook here, and we're going to yarn over and pull up that loop. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops on your hook, and you got a second single crochet. Okay, let's do that one more time. We're gonna go in this one here, you yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over and pull through. Okay, so you're gonna continue doing those single crochets all the way across. And again, you're going to want to have the same number of single crochets. So you're going to want to have, in this case, because I did 19, I'm going to have 19 single crochet. So whatever odd number of chains you did, that's the number you're going to want to have of single crochet. So whatever double crochets you have, that's the same number of single crochet you're going to have. I think you get it. Alright, go ahead and pause your video and I will see you at the end of this row. Okie dokie, so we made it all the way across row 2 and now we are going on to row 3. Whoa, I'm so excited that I'm knocking things off my table here. Okay, so I made my chains a little too tight here, so that's just one thing that I'd like to point out. Make sure that when you're doing your startup chains, you don't do them too tight because then it starts to do this. As you can see, it's a little too tight, so it kind of scrunches up and the yarn fibers are kind of like, help me please. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and turn our piece here. Again, no turning chain. What we're gonna do for this next one is going to be stacked single crochet. We are going to go right into that first single crochet, which is the last single crochet of the last row. And we're gonna go right in there, put our hook in there, and we're gonna do a regular single crochet. So you're going to yarn over and pull up your loop, yarn over and pull through those 2. Now we're going to stack a single crochet on top of it so that way we can have a double crochet to start our row. And to do that was that, as you can see, we have our 2 front loops here. Right in the front here, right? We have this one and our second one right there, right? We're gonna go through the second one. Okay, so skip this front. We're gonna work in the front of this second loop there. So go ahead and put your hook right through that second hoop, and we're gonna go ahead and yarn over and pull up a loop. We have our 2 loops on our hook there, so you're going to yarn over and pull through both loops, like that. And now we've got a stacked single crochet. Dun, 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 dun. Very easy, and now at the end of our project, you will see that we will have straight edges instead of the little bit of a wonky edges, and that's why I like to skip my turning chains and not do a bunch of chains. Alright, so let's keep going. Now, what we're going to do here is that we are going to work in what is called the front post of our double crochet from our first row. Yes, that's a mouthful and it sounds very complicated, but I promise you will get used to it and it's really not that hard. Now, what we're going to start with is going to yarn over because we are going to be working double crochets. And now, as you can see here, we have our first row. We're working our front post, is what it's called. Front post double crochet is what this stitch is called. So if you see FPDC, that's front post double crochet. Again, this is US terms. So we have our yarn over. We have our first double crochet right here, right? But we worked our stacked single crochet right on top of it, so we're skipping that one. Okay, we're gonna go into the second one here. We're gonna grab our hook that is in our hand, and we're gonna work through the back of that double crochet. Okay, let me show you the back of it. This is what it looks like. Okay, we're just going behind that double crochet from that first row. Now what you're going to do is that you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull that loop up like it's a regular double crochet. And make sure you pull it up that it's even with the rest of your loops that you have on your hook. then you're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, you yarn over once more and go through the second 2 loops. And now you've got your front post double crochet. Okay, I'll show you again how to do that. Now what we're going to do though, instead of doing a double crochet in the next front post, we're gonna go into the regular single crochet here, but we're doing a double crochet. So yarn over, go through the next stitch, you yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through those first 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. Okay, so that's a regular double crochet there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to skip this double crochet because we worked on top of it, right, into the regular single crochet from row 2. So what we're going to do is that we're skipping that post and going into the next post. As you can see, we're going to do kind of like a pattern. So you do front post, skip, front post, skip. Okay, and when you skip, you're working in the single crochet from the last row. So go ahead and yarn over, because we're doing double crochets. We're skipping this post here, and we're going to go into the next one. Again, this is what it looks like, okay, just in case. We're going to the next post here, and we're going to yarn over and pull up our loop. Try to make it the same height as the rest of your stitches. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And there you have it, another front post double crochet. Again, you want to make sure that it is same length as the rest of your stitches, because if not, it's going to have different levels of it, and you don't want to have that. So this is a little bit more of a higher level than novice of a crocheter beginner, but I want you to know this as well, even if you're novice, so that way you can learn and upgrade your level. Alright, so again, we're going to do a double crochet into the next single crochet from the last row, just like that. And now we're going to work into the next post, the next stitch. So another way to see how you do it is that you just did a double crochet here, right? And there's a double crochet down here. We're skipping that one. We're going to work into the next stitch, but instead of working into the single crochet, we're working into the double crochet down below from row 1. Okay, so you yarn over, go behind the double crochet. Again, this is what it looks like in the back, just in case you're curious. You yarn over, and you're going to pull through that post. You're going to extend your loop so that way it's leveled with the rest of your stitches. You yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so just keep going and continue that pattern of doing double crochets, but switching off, of course, with row 2 and then row 1, row 2, row 1, and so on and so forth until you get to the end. I will show you at the end what it's supposed to look like. I'll show you the last 2 stitches just to make sure that you are still doing well on your end of the camera. So here I am on my last 2 stitches, and I'm gonna work into my last double crochet post here. So I'm doing my double crochet as usual, just like that. And then the last one, that's why it's good to mark it up, so that way you know where you're at, and you're going to do a regular double crochet into that last stitch here, just like that. That's it. You got your first and second and third row done. Look at that, it's starting to take shape with your little post thingies there. I don't know what to call them. So it just gives it more texture when it comes to this stitch, and I think it's really neat. So yeah. Now let's go ahead and move on, and what we're going to do is we are going to repeat our row 2. So that means we are going to turn our work, and we are going to do a single crochet. Again, no turning chain, because we want to have a straight edge. So go right into that first stitch there. Put your hook in, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops, and that's your first single crochet of the row. And you just continue all the way across. You do all the single crochets across. You should have, again, the same number of stitches. So in my case, it is 19. So go all the way across, and I will see you at the end of this row. Alright, congrats! We made it at the end of the row, and now we are in the next row, row 5. Okay, so row 5, this is the back of our piece, right? We just finished our row 4. And what we're going to do is that we are simply going to turn our work around, and now we are in the front of our piece. We are going to create our stacked single crochet. I will show you again how that is made. We're going to go into that first stitch there, and we're going to put our hook in there. You yarn over and create a regular single crochet like that. And now we're going to work into the front post here in the second loop. Not the whole thing, just the second loop, okay? The one on the left. Put your hook right in there. You're going to yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay? Now you got your stacked single crochet, which does work as a double crochet, and it gives you that straight edge for your piece. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is that we want to alternate our front post double crochets. We don't want to have them stacked on top of each other. So to do that, we are going to do another double crochet here, right on top of this one. Just a regular double crochet, just like that. And now in the next one, we are going to work in the front post double crochet here. Okay, so instead of working in the single crochet, we're working into the double crochet down below. So you yarn over, go to the back of that, so work in the front post. You're going to yarn over, you pull up your loop, make it as even as you can with the rest of your stitches. You yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you've got your front post there, and it's alternating with the ones right below, as you can see. Okay, so let's do that again. We're going to do a double crochet into the next single crochet here from the last row. Okay, and now we're going to do the front post. So you a double crochet in that front post there, just like that. And I went a little quicker, but I just want to show you what it looks like. Okay, so again, a double crochet in the next one. Okay, and we're skipping this front post here. We're going to work into this one right here. Okay, because this is the one we did last time. We're working into the regular double crochet there. Just like that. To give that alternating look. So you can see. As you can see, the front post work is being alternated like that. Because if we did it in the same one, it's just going to be like this. And you don't really want that. I mean, you can if you want. I'm just not sure how well that would work. So to have the alternating, now you have more three-dimensional texture look with your piece. So I'm going to keep going all the way across. And I'll meet you at the end. Make sure you come back before you finish, because I'm going to show you how you're going to end this row, because it's the same thing, it's just we're ending it the way we started it. Okay, I made it to the end of my row here. As you can see, I only have one more front post to work into here. So I'm going to do that really quick, like this. And now, as you can see, the only front post you could do here is this one right here, but we don't want that because that's just gonna look funny. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna end it the way we started it. So we are going to do 2 double crochets into the last stitch. So, well, 1 double crochet into the last 2 stitches there. So you yarn over, go into the next stitch, like that. And now we're in the last stitch here. and just do a regular double crochet right into that last stitch. But as you can see, that's why it's good to mark up your first stitches that you make for the row, because in that way you'll know where you're at. Okay, so that's the end of that. As you can see, this is what it looks like right now. It has that little texture to it, and it's the alternating look instead of just symmetrical of having one stacked on top of each other. So go ahead and continue that pattern. So we're gonna turn our work, and we're gonna do single crochets across, and then we turn our work again. You do the single crochet, stacked single crochet, and you do your double crochet, and you go into the first post here, okay? And then you do double crochet into the single crochet, and you just keep going, yada yada yada. If you get a little confused, don't worry. There are timestamps in the description box down below, so you can go back and forth if you have to between the rows. Continue that pattern over and over again until you get the length that you want for your project. So it should look a little like this. Here it is. This is what it would look like. Obviously yours may most likely be bigger and longer and taller and wider. But it should still have this cool texture look where it has that front post stitches. It looks really, really neat. And the back of it should look like this, very plain and boring, which is okay, because this stitch, I do recommend that it is better for those that the inside is not going to be seen. So you could do it for clothing, you can do it for bags, wallets, pouches, anything along those lines where only the outside is going to be seen. Because if you have, for example, a scarf, it's going to look a little funky because the front is going to have this, but then because you're wrapping it around, it's going to have this on the other side. So it's just not going to look uniformed and just a little funny in my opinion. But I mean, you do you. You do what you want. In the end, it is your project, your life. You do whatever you want. If that is what you like, then that is what you like, and that is completely fine. So I have recently used this for a bag that I made for someone else, and it just came out so cute. If you would like to see the process of it, I do have an Instagram where I posted the process of the whole thing. You can find my link in the description box down below. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns about the stitch or about anything else, just let me know in the comment section down below. And if you did get confused, just let me know and I can try and clear it up for you. If you are interested in free patterns that you can maybe practice the stitch with, you can find my free patterns link down below in the description box. It's the first link at the top of the box. And that is all. If you did enjoy the stitch and you did enjoy this video, then you are definitely going to love this video right here. And as always, thank you for sticking around and for coming by, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!